Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the WDSF World 10 Dance Championships in Shanghai, China. Named by some as the largest city in the world, Shanghai is much more than one of the leading global metropolises. Couples from 34 different nations came to compete at the most difficult, spectacular and entertaining event in dancing of 2011. Every nation is allowed to send one couple to the tournament, so the excitement was at its peak. And undoubtedly, we will be introduced to some of the best 10 dance athletes in the world. Our commentator, Tony Irving, will guide you through the semi-finals and finals of this evening.
Thank you, Serena. Now it's time for us to see which of the 12 couples have qualified for this year's semi-final. We have couples from Denmark, Germany, Poland, Canada, Belarus, the Ukraine, Russia, Czech Republic, Norway, Moldavia and Italy. Now it's time for us to start the first dance, and it's the samba. Samba is one of the most complicated of the Latin American dances to perform musically, as it has so many different variations in rhythmical interpretation. Couple number 24 from Moldavia, Christian Radvan and Tatiana Silvestova. Performing now one of the classical samba movements, a promenade run, with a rather weak finish there from couple number 24. Number 8, Maszyn Kaletowski and Katarzyna Florczuk from Poland. All the couples on the floor are performing in all 10 dances, which means some of them will have certain dances which are stronger than others, and it looks as though couple number 8 are rather weak at samba. Number 11, the Canadian couple. Good strong body rhythm from this couple, and as you watch them now, they're moving into a movement referred to as cruzado, walks and lock. And that was a strong samba from the Canadian couple. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the semi-final in a rumba. As you're watching the couples perform the rumba, listen to the music. One of these techniques of the rumba is that the couples can actually move and dance on beats 2, 3 and 4 in the bar of music, but on counts 1, they should hold the stepping action so that there is a clear body action but no physical movement. Couple number 8, Maszyn Kaletowski and Katarzyna Florczuk from Poland, demonstrating the timing here very clearly. Couple number 16 from Russia, Timur Ametdinov and Katerina Nikolaeva. Now, as you watch the Russian couple, you can see the contact they create between the hands and the body, and the way they use it to create a connection to communicate with each other physically. This is part of the judging criteria, which they refer to as partnering skills. And couple number 18 from the Czech Republic, Martin Dvorak and Zuzana Silanova, utilising the partnering skills to create some fantastic shapes in their dancing. Now, watching the Polish couple, you can see, as I said earlier, that they demonstrate a very clear usage of the timing, so that they hold the 1. And actually in this case, no, they didn't. They made a mistake there in the timing, and rather messy exit there to the rotation. And that brings us to the end of the semi-final in rumba. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear by the music, it's the Paso Doble. Part of the character in this dance is that the gentleman should create the illusion of being the matador, using his torso to create a shape and a position for the lady to use her body to fill out his shape. And the Canadian couple 11 demonstrating it very well. And couple number 3 from Denmark, the current reigning world champions, defending their title this evening. And that break in the music that we heard there, ladies and gentlemen, that is referred to as a highlight. And traditionally in the Paso Doble, the couples hit a shape or form to accentuate that beat in the music. The build-up in the music now, ladies and gentlemen, signifying that we're coming to the end of the semi-final in Paso Doble.
We expect good dancing. We expect couples in the semi-final give probably their best performance, because since a few spots opened up since last year, few couples from the final are not competing this year, and it's anybody's game to make the 2 spots. And I think the semi-final couples will be doing
really
their best,
strong.
120% from all of them. So we'll do the same, no doubt.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the semi-final in Jive. The first couple we see performing for us are couple number 14 from the Ukraine, Volodymyr Lyatov and Veronika Mishko. As I talked about earlier, you can see the strong usage of the partnering skills through the connection between the two, building an awareness of where the partner is at all, and there it went wrong. They came off the choreography and off the timing. Couple number 23, Konstantin Gorodilov and Yulia Krepchuk from Estonia. Now, if you compare the couples, you can see that there are 2 basic styles of jive. One is a rather heavier, grounded jive, which we refer to as a swing action, and one is quite lighter with a high-stepping kicking action, which is a more classical jive approach. Sometimes as you watch the couples perform, you can see choreography that fits the couple and fits the music, and at other times you can see them perform steps that leave you wondering why. And ladies and gentlemen, right with the Ukrainian couple, number 14. Now as you watch them, you can see that they have a very strong ankle usage, creating the ticking action, which is part of the classical jive. And now it's time to change disciplines. It's over to the first dance in the standard section of the 10 Dance Championships, and it's the waltz. Couple number 19 from Norway. If you look at the position of the gentleman's left elbow and the lady's left elbow, you can see a line through the top of the bodies, which is referred to as the top line. Through all the standard dances, this line should be in place and unbroken. You can see how the lady extends the shapes created by the man's torso, filling out and accentuating the music. In a waltz, there are 3 beats in a bar of music, and the technique used is referred to as rise and fall. It's a rising and lowering action in relation to the 3 beats. The couples start to rise at the end of the first beat, continue to rise through 2, and finish the rise at 3, and return to starting position at the end of the 3rd beat. And as you watch the couples, you can see very clearly the rising and lowering action.
Zacząłem tańczyć dosyć specyficznie, bo po prostu jako nastolatek troszeczkę rozrabiałem. No i to karą było to, że
As a young boy, I used to get in a lot of trouble, so my parents took me to dance classes as a punishment, and because they didn't really know what else to do with me, that I would calm down. So in the beginning, I just saw the beautiful women dancing, but with time, I just fell in love with dance itself. Kasia and I have been dancing together for the last 3 years, and it's a great honor to be able to represent Poland on the World Championships in China. It is amazing. We are dancing very well, and we will be satisfied with any placing tonight.
Myślę, że usatysfakcjonuje nas każde miejsce, po prostu jesteśmy bardzo zadowoleni.
Now it's time for the second dance in the semi-final, the Viennese waltz. Traditionally, The couples rotate to the right, which is referred to as a natural turn, the left, which is a reverse turn. The transitions between the two steps are called links, or they can rotate standing in the middle of the floor, which is called a fleckel. Dancing the transition between the rotations, couple number 16 from Russia, Timur Ametdinov and the Katerina Nikolaeva. Couple number 13 from the Belarus, dancing a reverse turn, Artyom Katsira and Anastasia Veslova. Couple number 14, Volodymyr Lyatov and Veronika Mishko from the Ukraine. And couple number 7, Anton Skuratov and Alina Ulin from Germany. And that rounds off the semi-finals in this year's championships. Before we announce which of the couples have qualified for this year's final, it's time for a short interview with the Danish couple, Bjørn Bitch and Ashley Williamson.
My story in dancing begins when I was 6. I started dancing when I was 6. It was actually in America. My dad is American and my mom was Australian, and we were living in America at that time. And my mom opened up a dancing school in this very, very small country town. So for me, it wasn't one of these where I was only there once a week or something like this. I was dancing constantly.
It was my mom's decision to take both me and my brother to a dancing school, because she had always thought when she was younger that she didn't like it when there was parties and stuff like that she was too shy to dance because she didn't know how to. So she did not want me and my brother to have the same problem. So then I started at dance when I was 3 years old, and I remember she told us very specifically, you have to dance for 5 years. And I thought that it was a rule in the dancing school. Whenever you start, you have to dance for 5 years. But found out later it's because she wanted us to really learn, like at least to learn something. And then she said, you have to dance for 5 years, and after that, it's your own decision if you want to continue or not.
Last year's 10 dance champions and one of the top standard dance couples, Bjørn and Ashley, are not even close to putting their dancing shoes aside. This is just the beginning of an amazing journey. But to be this successful, hours of practice and dedication are simply essential.
We practice both ballroom and Latin all year round. We don't just practice our Latin up to the competition or just practice our ballroom up to the competition.
Of course, sometimes in periods, then I think the ballroom is more interesting. Sometimes I think the Latin is more interesting. But if we take over just a normal week, then if there's one day after I practice ballroom during a day, then I miss the Latin, so we practice the Latin. And the same if we do the Latin, I miss the ballroom. And this is the, for sure, number one thing, because I think I would miss one style if I didn't do it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Of course, it's also, you have to love it, both styles. No, I know, I just...
Okay, yeah.
You have to love it in order to practice it as much as you have to practice it. And I think this is why a lot of couples stop, is maybe they have a feeling or they have a passion for one of the styles and they don't have a passion for the other style, or maybe it's a lot less. And because of this, it's a natural thing that then they practice more on the one they're passionate about, and then the results in the other one don't go as well as what they think they should. And then because of this, then you get even more. Of course, if the results don't follow, then you also get a little bit crabby about it instead of it actually being a beneficial thing.
I think we try to prepare and to improve in as many areas as possible. Because to improve in one area up to, let's say, if you want to improve 20, 30%, I think it's very, very difficult in that time. But if you improve every area a little bit, then in the end it will give that much.
Of course, it has to do with the level. Now, when we're talking on our level, we're talking about being world champion or getting a silver medal. We're talking about the margin is very, very small. So in having the margin that's very small, it means that it's difficult, the same as what you just said. It's difficult to improve something 20% because it's already so high. There's not 20% of improvement
At least
that's
to
able
improve
to
20% in
a
that
short
time,
amount of time. Yeah.
in that time. So therefore, we're trying to improve in a lot of different aspects. We're trying to improve the technical ability in both the ballroom and the Latin.
Our physical
ability, which is a big thing for the 10 dance.
Last year's World Championship, I think we can say very safely, was a great experience for us. Of course, the first time that we won a World Championship, so we were over the moon. We felt that everything went the way we had planned it, dancing-wise, during the day, and had a great outcome. So I guess it's one of those competitions where you kind of can put a tick next to it, where you say everything went the way we wanted. Of course, after the World Championship, you always revise the plan, figuring out.
Try to improve, try to do things better.
Yes, making sure that things develop as well. And that, of course, we've done for this year, making sure that we come with something new, something different, to do it again.
We're not trying to defend, make sure nobody else take. We're going for winning it. And I think this is always being more of an offensive role. Like, it's not, you know, I got to make sure I stay just ahead. No, I got to make sure we got to make sure we improve everything we can possibly improve and do our absolute best in the day. Exactly. Of course, we've set the goal for what we go for, what we hope for, and what we, of course, ourselves believe that we will achieve. But the main thing that we can focus on and that we're going to focus on tomorrow is dancing our asses off. Dancing the best we possibly can in both styles. And of course, the final is where it counts. I for sure have the belief that the judges will think the same.